Okay, hello and welcome everyone to day three of physical practice, where we look now at Manipura. We've been coming up from the root where we establish that real sense of grounding, stability, organizing our tribe, our family. We moved up last night to Swadhisthana, and then we started to really calm these waters down and anchor those as well so that we can really feel into these creative forces and heal any traumas that were lingering there and be that mentor or older figure that basically you needed in those times where this center can get closed off. Now we go into the power chakra, Manipura. So this is a great one because um, it's right up where we step into personal power, and this one gets blocked. Honestly, a lot of it gets blocked because of us, because of our choices, because of, especially when we get older, because if we look at the gross aspects of Manipura, yeah, the city of jewels, the power, the fire chakra, um, it sits anywhere where you can feel it the most, from the navel depicted all the way up to the solar plexus. Now, the organs connected to this really intensely are the stomach and spleen and the liver. Now, the liver especially is an organ that gets it has over 500 different jobs. Chinese call it the general, and it gets aggravated when we do things like eat too much fried food, eat junk food, have too much coffee, have too much sugar, because it's already processing, these hundreds of different things. And then if we're adding different layers onto it all the time, it's just overworked. And that's one thing that can aggravate. And my teacher Mantak talks about it when it's harmonized and balanced, it's actually the organ of generosity and kindness. On the other side, we have the stomach and spleen, and the spleen is that area of worry, yeah, of anxiety, sometimes of like a bit of fear and stress. And when we're not in our power, we are feeling like that. And there's certain things and elements that can kind of block Manipura when we are young. So signs that the solar plexus might be wounded is, just the fear of getting it wrong. Like a lot of parenting styles, there's so much pressure on kids. It might have been for you that kids always had to be right, and that can put a pressure on getting things wrong and not taking risk because you're too scared to actually act on things. And, you know, this practice, we're really going to take up some space. And I'd really like you to think about as we move through the practice today, we are going to twist a lot because twisting helps to detoxify these organs, it recenters us, and it gives us this sense of activation. When we talk about the Vayu connected to this, Samana Vayu, this multicolor of spiraling energy at the navel, we activate that through twisting. So when we come out of twist, there's this real sense of like an aliveness, a luminosity there when we do it. So primary twists, and if you had food in the last couple of hours, just go really easy on the twists. I would recommend that you have a blanket because we can roll this up and use that to lie on top of. So right now, what I would like us all to do is start in a yin pose just so we can ground this center. So there's two ways that I would start a type of practice to harmonize and balance the power chakra. One, we've already done it, so we won't do it again, but lying on the back with constructive rest, so the knees bent like we did to ground the back of the sacrum yesterday, and press in and massage the diaphragm. You literally just press into the organs. But today we're going to do one called crocodile pose because it's such a beautiful way to bring yin element into the power chakra. And that will be our centering pose. Um, let's set a brief intention before we go there. So what I'll ask you to do is join your palms together in front of your heart center. Find your drishti. Lock on to that focal point. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth, close the eyes, drop into your center. Now, as you breathe, can you focus on the area of the solar plexus and the diaphragm? And you soften this point. Often when this area is not activated or working properly, we can feel, and when we notice we go into diaphragmatic breathing, there's a bit of quivering that we've been holding, or there's too much tension in that plexus of nerves. the solar plexus. Take your time to set the intention to invite in any type of healing that needs to occur at this center so that you can move forwards in your life, feeling balanced, feeling in your power with that fire element fully activated in your life. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Okay, everyone. So for crocodile pose, take your time to come around. We're going to place the chin on folded fingers, and you're just going to lie down on your belly, interlace the fingers together. And what this pose does is really open up all of the organs to the yin element or gravity so that the field of the earth can start to absorb out some of that excess yang energy. And, we build up this yang energy through activities that we engage in. We all live, well, not all of us, but most of us live fairly, quite fast-paced lives. And it feels normal to be like, go, 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 because we feel like we're being productive when we are moving and being active. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we are being productive. It just means that we're active. So this is a chance for us to just calm the fire down a little bit. Just bring a little bit of cooling to the liver, the stomach, the spleen, and really breathe into the organs here. Like really breathe into the solar plexus, breathe your diaphragm, feel it press against the ground. And really focus on, drawing the navel in as you breathe out. Like this real sense of emptying, of cooling. And close the eyes if they're not closed already. But really get a deep sense of the front of your body opening to earth and feeling your skin soften, the muscles release. The bones get heavy as we sink into spaciousness, into the surface that supports us. And we just let the breath guide us. Yeah. We stay connected to the breath, keep breathing slowly, evenly, and rhythmically, focusing on the center. And stay with it, everyone. Stay there. We'll be here for a few more minutes, just letting the front body open to earth and everything get heavy and relaxed. And we really want to invoke this feeling and sense of calmness in this moment, like letting the body open to earth and feeling everything just calm down. Because when this center is active, we can harness our motivation and power. We can move through the world with drive, but without burning out. We have the ability to really step forwards with courage and confidence. Remember, the positive archetype is the warrior. negative is the servant, the constant people pleaser, trying to do everything for everybody else, but not looking after one's own personal power, giving from an empty cup. So, can you tap into that feeling of the warrior here, breathing your organs against the ground, letting your body release, and resting, but resting with a sense of purpose. Okay, nicely done, everyone. We'll be here for a few more moments. Just let's do another 5 breaths in this posture. Drawing the navel into the spine as you breathe out, emptying, emptying, emptying. Last breath. And once you finish that breath, please come up to a chosen posture for meditation. And just take a moment to really sit in your strength, sit as a warrior. Remember the power posing that we did the other day? Sit in that stance. So we're really sitting fairly upright, chest is lifted, shoulders are down the back. And with the eyes closed, I just want you to feel in as quickly as you can into the solar plexus, into that area in the body where we feel that sense of power. Just feel those organs being calmed down. After the pose where we sit, we feel that rebounding effect of the asana. And embody that warrior as you sit. Now, I'd like you to make fists with your hands as you come into Mushti Mudra. The thumb covers the index finger and middle finger. We will keep this mudra for a moment. This helps to release excess energy in the stomach, liver, and spleen. So, real balancing effect to get this excess yang out of the body. Keep this as we move to the next posture. And the next posture, we're going to come up to a standing position. And it's going to be a bit of a transition after lying down. And we are going to go for, yes, you guessed it, our warrior. So you have two options, and we are either going to stand as the superhero with the fists engaged, chest lifted, shoulders down the back, or you can go for more Superman stance, Wonder Woman. But again, feet shoulder width apart, feet anchored, legs strong, chest lifted, gaze slightly up. You take your position, whichever that works best for you, and we will hold this for a couple of minutes. Now remember, we are working on activating testosterone, lowering down cortisol. And just pretend, how would you stand as a warrior? How would it feel like to be a warrior, knowing that you are this super powerful person moving through the world as a warrior, not a servant, but a warrior. A warrior for truth, for compassion, for kindness. Plant your feet into the earth. Feel the strength and stability of your legs. Good. Breathe. Stay with it. I really want you to sense and feel that sense of power in yourself as you stand like this. Remember, keep pressing your feet into the floor, lifting your chest up, shoulders are relaxed down the back, stretching up through the heart, stretching up through the crown of the head. Good. Stand in your power. Feel your energy raising. Keep focusing on deep, slow, calm breathing. Nice. Stay with it, everyone. Last couple of breaths. Feel the strength. Feel the energy of testosterone building inside us now. And then very gently, I would like you to release your hands. Feel the energy release. You can actually feel quite a lot of energy release of pulsing of the hands, releasing of energy coming out of the hands. And very gently from that same position, we're going into knocking on the door of life, where we spin the torso around. Now your legs stay grounded, the knees are slightly bent, and we rotate like a spinning drum. And your front arm taps across your internal organs at the front, and the back arm comes up and taps on the back of the spine, the lower back. We let the shoulders soften. We release the arms. We release the shoulders. We unravel the spine. So you can feel that front arm very lightly tapping on the organs we talked about, stomach, liver, spleen, the digestive system getting stimulated. Be gentle if you had food recently. And then you can turn it into more of a twist. If you want to turn it into more of a twist, you can lift up the heel as you twist around if you want to create more movement, or you can keep the feet flat. It's entirely up to you. Feel that twisting and unraveling of the spine. Good. Keep going. Last three, two, and one. Nicely done. Come to the center and rub those palms. Bring your left hand on the solar plexus, your right hand over the top. You cross the right thumb under the left, and the right hand sits on top of your left hand. Go down to your left. I'm not mirroring you. So out to the left and down. Across the bottom of the pubic bone, up the right side, down the left side. So following the line of your digestive system, we're standing up nice and tall. We're still embodying that feeling of the warrior, and we're just massaging through the internal organs, helping to assist that energy of samana spiraling, moving, activating all the organs here. Feel that calming and soothing effect happening. Yeah, keep going. And then pause. Now you can rest wherever you can feel it the most. Maybe it's the solar plexus, maybe it's the navel. Pause. Close the eyes and just breathe here. Just breathe here. Just focus on slow, calm breathing, calming down this center. Not just calming down, but reorganizing energy. Feel into the solar plexus with loving awareness. Keep embodying that archetype of the warrior. Because remember, confidence and all of these things are trainable skills. We are just expanding identity to be a warrior, to be more courageous. And we've all heard it, doesn't mean that we don't feel fear, that we feel the fear, and like a warrior who is courageous acts anyway. That's what we are training ourselves to do. Okay, beautiful friends. Please come down to seated. Take your time to get here. There's no rush. Now we're going to go straight into um, one of the biggest twists that we can do to stimulate this energy center. So start with straight legs. Bend your knees. Bring your left foot under your right leg. Step your right foot over your left. The left heel sits outside the right sit bone. And I just want you to play with just hugging this leg in a couple of times. Just move and mobilize the hip joint. And you can start to play with just moving into the twist, but pulsing into it. So we're not just going into a static twist. We move the leg, do that internal rotation of the thigh. And when you're ready, begin to wrap the arm around. And we look over the shoulder and we hug the arm in. You can stay here or you can go for the fuller variation of Ardha Matsyendrasana. It's big spinal twist pose. Now, twist your torso as far as you can to the right, but then turn your head and look over the left shoulder. So we come out of the neck rotation and we're focusing more on the organs. Go into belly breathing. So even in this pose, we are actively compressing the abdominal cavity to kind of like we're squeezing out a dirty cloth, you know, toxifying and wringing out the organs. And remember, like I said in the lecture, most of our internal organs here do not have muscles, so it relies on breathing and us twisting them like this to get more nourishment, improve digestion and their function, and blood flow going into the organs. So as you twist your head to the left, your body to the right, do it with that intentionality of every breath massaging, healing, nourishing the organs here. Stretch up through the crown of the head, press the sit bones down into the floor. Try and straighten up the spine as much as you can. Feel all of the seated poses like a spinal readjustment. Now we turn the head to look over the right shoulder slowly. The spine really likes counter rotations. Counter rotations that we just did, the pelvis is twisting to the left, the torso was twisting to the right, and the head was twisting to the left. And now we go into the more classic variation where we turn and look over the right shoulder. Please play with long, extended breaths out. All right, super, everyone. Release, come out of the pose, sit up nice and tall, ground down, and when you sit, sit as the warrior. If you sit cross-legged or on the floor, but you really establish a posture of the warrior. You can go back to fists, to Mushti Mudra, and you can keep Mushti Mudra for as much as you can of the practice. Now, as you focus on the abdominal cavity, see if you can feel a spiraling of energy there. Maybe light, tingling, vibration, sensation. Start meditating on that solar plexus region or between the navel. Feel the fans, the flame being fanned. Feel the energy just building at this center. And slowly, let's go to the other side. Again, if you want to sit on a cushion or anything, you can. Might find that a bit easier to have some elevation, maybe not. So this time the right foot steps over the left leg. We elevate the spine. We get up nice and tall. You can keep Mushti Mudra if you want to for the whole thing. Play with the mobilization of the hip, of just internal rotation. It's drawing the leg in. Doing that a few times that can feel nice just to open up the hip socket. And when you're ready, you can wrap the arm around and begin to twist very gently the torso. Turn the body to the left. And any variation that you want to with the arms, and you can keep the fists if you want. And then we turn the head over the right shoulder. So again, counter rotations with the body. Body turning to left, head to right. So remember, we have the three parts of the spine, the 33 vertebrae. We have the lower lumbar, which are twisting to the right, the mid-spine, the thoracic spine twisting to the left, and the cervical spine, the neck and head twisting to the right. That creates this feeling of counter rotation, which is so healthy for the spine. It's just a wonderful reset, lifting up through the crown, lifting up through the heart, breathing slow and deep. Play with lengthening your breath out. And we're going to add another layer into this now as we go deeper into the twist. Look over your left shoulder as you come back around. Now, the liver sound that we often use is a big shh. When someone says you to shush, when you get really annoyed, we're going to do that on our breaths out now for the next few moments. So I want you to breathe in deeply. And then on the exhale, I really want you to do a long shh. Squeeze out the organs as you breathe out. Inhale diaphragmatically. Feel the lift. Breathe and keep going. And slowly release. Take your time. Please come to sitting on the knees if you can. Release the hands, or sorry, keep your hands in Mushti Mudra if you can. Sit up tall like the warrior. Bring your hands on your hips, right on the pelvis. Shoulders back, chest lifted. Now we're going to fold forwards from here. Please bring your knuckles together. Bring your hands into your lower abdomen. Lengthen your spine, lift up, and then fold forwards. Come into a variation of child's pose with the fists into the belly. If you have had food recently, again, go easy on this one. And on the breath out, you can do a gentle or a powerful shh and feel how that really squeezes the internal organs here. Shh. Good, you're doing so well. Stay with it. Okay, nice, everyone. Last 3 breaths. 2 and 1. Very slowly come to a seated position and release the fists now. Feel the energy release from the hands. Have the palms open, turned up, and sit. We sit then in open palm mudra, and we feel like energy is just being gathered in the palms here. That was such a big compression in the organs. And holding the mudras like that, it just releases so much and harmonizes samana and chakra 3. So breathe and feel this sense of aliveness and release as you just open to receive all this fresh energy through the palms flooding into your body. Sit tall like a warrior. Feel it, just feel that fresh energy flowing in. Okay, nicely done, everyone. So to go one step further, just to stimulate that energy, you can take a towel for this one, or roll up a blanket or a cushion. And we're going to go into Sphinx pose, but lying over the blanket, putting that right on the solar plexus region here. Now, when that blanket is pressed in, press it in enough that you create that activation, and it's right like across the navel, under the floating ribs, above the hips. Now, I'm going to stay seated so I can talk to you through this one because it's a bit hard to instruct and do at the same time. So go into Sphinx pose. And if you can actually lie all the way down just for a few breaths, and then we'll come up and do a very detoxifying breath as we come out of that pose. But for now, for a minute or so, just lie down, belly down, feel the belly over the blanket. If you can put your head on your hands, a bit like crocodile pose, but with the head flat this time. And for this technique, we just breathe into that blanket, breathe into the navel. Now, we just have a couple of poses left before we go into meditation. So, what I'd like you to do is come up onto your forearms to Sphinx now. Now, again, these organs get blocked, and one of the biggest things is heat. So, we want to get rid of the excess heat so that we can stand in our courage and our power, but without burning ourselves. So, go on to Sphinx pose, and we're going to do 3 rounds of lion's breath. So, it's remember, tongue to the chin, look up to your eyebrow center, and growl like a lion. But I really want you to make this kind of like almost like a guttural, like vibrate the tonsils and blow this heat out. I want you to feel the heat in the stomach, liver, and spleen come out. Okay, so let's try it. Breathe in, exhale, tongue to chin, look up, growl. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Squeeze all that heat out and breathe in. Stretch your facial muscles. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Beautiful. One more time. Go. All the way out. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Beautiful. Inhale, and if you feel like laughing, you can laugh because it's a funny one. And come back up, sit up, find your meditation posture, pause. That's one of the things with the power chakra. We can't be too serious with that power. You got to have a sense of playfulness within balancing and building with all these spiritual practices. I really believe that an element of play is essential. Otherwise, it gets a little bit too serious. And you have to remember that, life is to be enjoyed, supposed to smile, enjoy existence and being embodied. So sit there and enjoy the sense of being embodied. Feel how those few postures, but framed in a very specific way so that we can maximize the energetical quality from them, really harmonizes Manipura chakra. Okay, let's close off with a shoulder stand. I think that'll be a very nice way to lead into the deeper meditative side of practice now. So if shoulder stand's not accessible for you, you can come here and go to constructive rest, or you can put your legs up on the sofa or a chair next to you. But if you want to go up into shoulder stand or half shoulder stand, please take your time and go up. Roll up onto the shoulders, support the lower back. Make sure the neck is open. Support your lower back with your hands. Feet above the head. Breathe. Hold for as long as you wish. And go for at least another 5 breaths if you can. And then from that position, after you've had those 5 breaths or longer, I'm not going to do a super long one today because we're using this posture more to prep for meditation than any of the energetics. Inversions are just great ways to prepare ourselves for meditation. Take your legs over the head if you want to, and then just roll out of the posture, lie down on the back, and drop into Shavasana. So remember, all forward folds, all twists, especially the twists, help to rebalance the energy of this chakra. And now we just take that moment to completely melt, completely relax. We let those shifts in the fascial system, in the nervous system, just be absorbed into the body. And as you lie there, keep focusing on your navel, the home of Manipura. Now, with every breath out, allow your entire being to open to earth. Feel your facial muscles soften, your skin relax, your muscles release. The bones get heavy, and with the complete surrendering of your physical body, just feel into the solar plexus. Breathe from that point. So slowly remember your breath. Breathe awareness into the body. And in your own time, very gently just begin to move your toes and fingers, hands and feet. Begin to awaken, to stretch out your body very gradually and mindfully, just coming back around nice and slowly. And then please curl up into a ball and roll over to the right side of the body, pausing there for a moment. Then in your own time, slowly rise up to a chosen meditation posture. Now again, if you are feeling like you want to activate Mushti Mudra, you can keep Mushti Mudra for the meditation practice to continue to work on balancing and harmonizing these organs. We'll do Kapalabhati just to stoke those flames a little bit more before we go into the meditation. Remember, Kapalabhati is a short, sharp exhale through the nose and the navel whips back. We're going to do an extended long version today. We're going to do a couple of minutes just straight with short breath retentions at the end and then go into the meditation practice. Please do your best to keep your attention and awareness on your navel throughout this whole practice. Breathe out and then breathe in just halfway or 20% and then begin Kapalabhati. Start slow, start smooth. Remember the rest of the body stays still and light. We just pump the navel. Short exhale, navel whips back. Inhale, everything relaxes. Beautiful. Keep it going. Last 30 seconds. And breathe out completely. Hold your breath out. You know your bandhas. Activate all three bandhas. The root, navel sucking in and up. Lock the throat. Hold on empty. Just for about 10 seconds. Release the throat. Inhale belly. Seal the throat. Chin to the chest. Pause. Feel your body metabolizing and turning that breath into extra energy, extra fuel for the fire. And then release the breath. Release any locks. Keep the mudra of Mushti if you would like to keep it. Now feel the navel center, but in the center of your body, directly behind your navel. Maybe it's slightly above, but just where you feel it the most inside the body. Every time you breathe in, feel energy move from all directions into the solar plexus, the power chakra. Every time you breathe out, can you seal the energy at your navel? Go into diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale, drawing energy from all around the body into the center. Exhale, sealing the energy in the center. We keep going with that for a few minutes, just gathering and pooling the energy at the navel. Breathing in from all directions, drawing energy to the center. Exhale, seal the energy in that center, building and gathering awareness and energy here. And keep building this awareness, this energy at the navel, feeling it gathering. If you are visual, you can sense a flame building or growing in intensity at this center. When you breathe in, you might sense that flame get bigger. And when you breathe out, you might sense that flame go a little bit smaller. If the visualization is not there, feel the vibration, feel the tingling of all the different nerve endings in the solar plexus and the abdominal cavity. Now let go of any conscious control of your breathing or any focal point, but from the vibration of the abdomen, just gather lots of energy there. From the flames of the vibration, feel the mantra, the bija seed awakening Ram. Ram, 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 pulsing at the navel. If the mantra helps you go deeper to stay focused with the mantra, or you can use the vibration and sensation to keep the mind focused on this point. Infuse it with your loving awareness. Feel the vibration healing, rejuvenating, and stimulating anything connected to this center. Every time you feel Ram, feel the seed awakening your courage, your confidence, this stability in who you are, the confidence to be yourself, and embodying the archetype of the warrior. Strong and powerful, but also humble and kind. Feel Ram pulsing, or feel the pulse of the heartbeat or circulation in this power center. You're doing so well. Stay focused and present. Now allow the mantra to fade away if you're using it and just feel the pulse. Feel the vibration in the navel and if you infuse that with your loving awareness. Feel your awareness harmonizing and balancing any imbalances in this energy center. And we keep feeling that sense of the warrior archetype. We feel our internal power, our strength. We remind ourselves that we are capable of so much more. We have so much courage. Just need to start to use it. Now, slowly, everyone, just release the Mushti Mudra, release your fists. Feel the energy and release from the hands. Feel the heat, the vibration moving, and just rub the hands together. And you feel the hands get really warm, which will probably happen quite quickly. Bring the hands onto the solar plexus. Breathe into the hands. Infuse that with your loving awareness. The monks in Thailand meditate on this point, and they really just say, make it easy. Yeah, just cultivate this feeling of ease, stability, bliss at the belly. Feel the balancing and healing effects of the practice. Finally, rub your hands together and cup the hands over the eyes. Block out all the light. Feel the warmth, the light, the energy flooding into the eyes, giving them some love and kindness. Close the eyes. Bring the hands at the heart. Finish with gratitude. Remind yourself how lucky you are. Just spend a couple of minutes remind yourself of all of the gifts that you've experienced today or are about to experience today. You know, this chakra is associated with ego. We can have healthy ego. So let go of the desire in this moment and thank yourself. Thank yourself for all of the work that you're doing on this path. Remind yourself how fortunate, how lucky you are. And then when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Find your focal point, your drishti. Take your time to come back around into the space, feeling the transformation and ready to move back out into the world with your warrior activated, ready to go back out into life. That concludes practice on chakra number 3, Manipura. Namaste to each and every one of you. Thank you for your time, your energy. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about accessing this energy center. Um, Obviously, we started on the belly. That kind of grounded feeling will really help stabilize and bring some nourishment, just stopping. So if you've ever feel like that center's overactive or you feel a bit of anxiety or worry creeping in, that first pose, crocodile pose, is a beautiful one. And think about any twists, especially focusing on twists. Forward folds help. And anything like Kapalabhati is a great one too. So if you have any questions, shoot them over to me, and I will see you tomorrow for my all-time favorite, the heart. Have a beautiful moment, everyone, and I will speak to you. So cute, Isabel, and I'll see you all tomorrow. And again, any questions, please send me a message.